mindful of the fact that he has a lot to do here. If Nepal are up to that 205 for victory here this evening, they're 2-0 up in this practice series as Redhead races past the umpire Bam, and Padel flashes of one wide outside the off-stump signal a wide.
Early on Ned, and he would want to make some amends. Melios just doing a bit of adjustments. So the long on has been pulled in off the boundary and the point has been placed right back on the fence.
Ned. And Bertel pulls over mid wickets. As a matter of fact, he spooned it. He's out caught by Descartes. For a moment I thought he had the power on it, but he skied it. And Descartes came in and took a very, very simple catch.
Well, it's better hand. He was able to lost out.
That some 16 runs came off his first over. So one might say somewhat even Stevens in the first. As and hold into Asif, and Asif plays it down into that third man position. That's got the outer portion of the bat trickled into the path of the wicketkeeper, and total remains on 19 for the loss of 1. Nepal chasing 206 for victory, and there's a little bit of a quietness around the ground. This person's just simply observing what is taking place in the middle, Charlo.
Well, you definitely can tell where the support is coming from. And picking up a wicket here, I'm sure the crowd will erupt.
Redhead into Anil Shah. And Shah skies this one. And there is Kavim Hodge getting under it and takes a well-taken judge catch. Well done there by Kavim Hodge. Wicket number 2.
Well, good work by Descartes. And
outside the off stump, and again fanning at a wide delivery. And Descartes looking at Butler as to why did you call that one a wide?
As you can see, having a quiet word there with Butler. Umpire's decision is final. One of the things we noticed in the IPL that you could have challenged the umpire, called for a review. We do not have that facility here.
And this one is punched square the wicket and beaten the field in the process. As a matter of fact, he almost, that's, who's that fielder there?
It's Pascal.
Pascal almost lost his trousers in the process. And 4 well-taken runs off the bat of Asif, Muhammad Asif. He's on to 13. It's 29 for the loss of 2 wickets as Descartes will come in once again to bowl to Asif, and he punches this one high and hard into someone yard above, and you can see that white ball now making its way back down. A huge hit.
It was in the slot, and he picked it up beautifully, and it was by Asif, and the ball has been returned, and the total goes on to 35. We are in over number 3, so they are going at a good run rate here.
So we say thanks to that family. If you're watching us on VC3, well, yes, they're also looking at it live, but thank you ever so much. It seems as if he's done a whole lot of work with that. And pulled, and this is one that's going to get close to the boundary. I doubt Hooper's going to pull it back. He doesn't. So Hooper not wanting to punch the covers.
A very sensible move on the part of Hooper.
Yes. And 39 for 2. So Descartes is coming in for some stick here.
For some good sticks. Some 15 runs also. Well, at 24, it was 24 after 2. It's now 39, so 15 runs already in the over.
Descartes, final ball, the third over, and cracked square the wicket. But Pascal is there, picking it up. And accounted for that one.
Definitely, it was too close for the shot.
So, Redhead with his second over. As the Wooded Islands continue with this all-pace attack. And this delivery, Anil is out caught behind. His production team seems to be having a bit of a fun with that replay.
Yes, certainly. But that was a little too close to him for that shot. So Jora makes his way out to do battle. Sandeep Jora. And Redhead now picking up 2 scalps.
Well, Jora has not had a good series. He went for a first ball duck in the first, and I believe he scored 1 in the second. So they really and truly want to make amends. It is the third and final T20 as Redhead bowls, and Jora gets one that peels off the outside edge down to short third man. He's off the mark, and it's 41 for the loss of 3. Jora, there you see Rohit Padel, very diminutive player indeed. He's the captain of this Nepal team and has shown us in the last T20 that he certainly can really play his shots. Arms akimbo as he watches Redhead making his way back to the top of his mark. And a tall, stockily built Grenadian will now turn and moves into that gentle breeze that's flown across the Park Hill playing field now. Bowls to Padel. And Padel works one into that short gully position and fielded there low by 41 for the loss of 3. Had a bit of a rain early on, had a 20 minutes interruption to play, but no reduction in the overs. Wooded Island Volcanoes 205 all out of the allotted 20. And thus far in just the 4th over, 3.3 overs is 41 for the loss of 3. As Redhead outside that 30-yard circle. So he has a very long run up and breaks into it now. To go past umpire Bayam to Padel, and Padel punches it into the offside.
Action replay of the previous delivery.
Without a doubt.
So a pretty tidy over so far by Redhead.
Redhead bustles in now to bowl to Padel, and Padel works this nicely off the pads, and as a matter of fact down to at long on position, gets 1, and total now on to 42. He's on to 4. He's on to 5, sorry. 42 for the loss of 3. So that's Ned. He didn't have the best of first overs. But Redhead, who's really and truly made an impression, comes in again this time to bowl, and Jora is in defense, working it back along the pitch and feeling his bowling there. That's Redhead with a good over.
A very good over and a successful over on the part of Redhead and Windward Island Volcanoes. So at the end of over number 4, 42. 42 going at just over 10. Who is going to pick it up from this end?
Well, it's been an all-pace attack, but as we are about to see this 5th over, Kavem Hodge being pulled into the attack by Captain Melias. And of course, this is an opportunity for Sandeep Jura. As I said early on, not having the best series thus far. A delivery that is driven into the offside finds Asif Hooper in the way. That's Padel. And quickly getting it back to Kavem Hodge. Hodge. Again to Padel. And Padel drives again into the path of Hooper in that cover position.
Well, he should have done better with that. It was a low full toss. And he drove it firmly and straight to Asif Hooper, who fielded well. And there was no run.
This delivery was pulling, and well, a good attempt down there. Looks like
Descartes.
Well, that's gone for 6.
I think he swung that from outside the off stump.
Yes. And found that whitish long on position. And there you see the Descartes again on his knees, retrieving the ball. And he'll walk around the covers. But in the end, shot there, earning Nepal and the captain 6 more runs. 48 for the loss of 3. Hodge to Rohit. This time outside the off stump, and he works it fine into that backward point fence. That's 4 well taken runs.
Certainly well played there by Rohit. Yeah, he recognized Hodge. The previous delivery was tossed up. He was swung over wideish mid wicket. He got 6. Hodge just shortening his length outside the off stump, and Podell was able to cut it through backward point, beating backward point in Pascal and down to defense of 4. So back-to-back boundaries here for Podell. So pressure on Hodge immediately.
Well, the 50 is up in a GP. It's 52 off 4.4 overs. 4 overs and 4 balls. But Nepal on the attack. This one is driven into the cover region. Good work there by Asif Hooper. Dive into his right. And naturally bet on the left side, but showing that he's also good going to his right. And avoiding any addition to the total. 52 for the loss of 3. The final delivery here from Kavem Hodge. And the work down to third man. Throw comes in very quickly, but no threat at all.
I think it's a weak throw on the part of Larry Edwards. And they were through comfortably for that single. Some 11 runs coming in that over.
So that's the end of the 5th over.
Performed the Paul Bess center end, the northern end of the ground. So the northern end of the ground. So it's now an all-spin attack on the part of Windward Islands Volcanoes.
Asif Hooper. Asif Hooper. To the Nepal captain, and he strokes it down to long on. And Larry Edwards is down there making somewhat of a meal out of that one, but he got it back in.
And pretty quickly, and deter them from taking a single.
That should have been a single. Jura, a not-out batsman. And Jura goes square. Could only find the field in that point position. And it is no run. Hooper again to Jura. That one is well up. And had to come down on it very quickly indeed. Punches it eventually into the offside. There was Descartes. And total remains on 54 for the loss of 3. So a good over thus far being bowled here by Asif Hooper. The baited ballman, if I can say that, as he comes in now to bowl to Jura. Jura is forcing this one from outside the off stump into the onside. And good footwork down there on the long on fence, and the throw comes in finally over the head of Douglas, but there was this redhead backing it up, and 2 more added to the total.
And that was sweetly played off the back foot. It was timed sweetly, and it really raced down there, but extremely good work on the part of Larry Edwards. He has really been to the walls in the last few overs and saving his team 2 runs.
Yes, good work. Showing off his football skills, if one can say that. As we have a look at it via the replay, but here comes Hooper. And Jura is, well, missing that one. So too is Douglas. And it'll be interesting to see whether or not he got an edge onto it. Let's see.
I think.
Yes, it's a bye.
Buys.
Yes, it's a bye. 2 buys, as a matter of fact. So total is on by 2 to 58 for the loss of 3. So the end of over number 6. And if you recall, after 6 overs, the Windward Islands, they were 56 for the loss of no wickets. Nepal, they're 58 for 3.
Well, according to Duckworth Lewis, at this stage, Nepal should have been 68.
So here comes Hodge once again. and worked into the onside. Two fielders converge on it. And good return coming in there. One bounce hitting the stumps. But Captain Podell was firmly in his crease, had his bat firmly planted. And no chance of a run out there, Charlo.
So it's 60 now for 3, but a good return, and really Podell making his ground, and so he was in no danger whatsoever. And umpire, but by I'm not far away, having his eyes on things. I think that was Salazano coming off the boundary.
Here comes Hodge. And the Jura poking at one outside the off-stump position. And gets a good, strong return into the gloves of Douglas. But one more added in the interim. 62 now for the loss of 3. Hodge. And Jura punches square again. Point comes in. That's backward point comes into play.
And that's a huge hit. Huge hit. That went to the top of the hills. And we see Podell favoring that shot. He had a good swat and it went sailing. .69. So out goes the replacement ball.
It's a farming community. There are a lot of banana trees and of course mango and coconut trees and a lot of shrub around. And the moment you clear the ground, that's where you...
Asif Hooper will continue to bowl to Podell, who is on 26.
Talk about mango trees. It is mango season. I don't know how much of it you've eaten thus far.
Well, I have had quite a bit of it, and I would endeavor to do my best during the season.
Well, same here. Certainly it's a season that I look forward to here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, those sweet mangoes. And this one is neatly worked there by Podell, getting himself
3.
And now long on comes into play. Pascal picking it up, tossing it in, back to Hooper. Who will now this time bowl to Jura. He's not out on 5. Podell has moved on to 31 as we see this one again bringing long on into play. Been a fairly good scoring rate is Nepal. Outside the off stump, and that one cramped him a bit as he looked to go square of the wickets. Asif Hooper. As Jura fiddles a bit with the bail there. And this one, Podell hits high. He might very well be out caught. No, it clears the fence. Good shot in the end there from Podell.
So clearing the boundary, picking up 6.
So interested to know how many balls he faced thus far, because he's really and truly raced to 37.
Yes, and he has hit a couple of 6s in that as well. But there's going to be a change in bowling at the southern end, and we can see Larry Edwards now coming into the attack with Kavem Hodge being taken out of the attack.
So
Off his 4.
So Captain Melius calling him in at this point in time as Rohit Podell certainly looking to take the Windward Island bowlers to the cleaners, and he's been successful thus far. 81 for the loss of 3. This time we'll be bowling to Sandeep Jura. He's not out on 6, has been more seated than his captain, more quiet. And this delivery works it off the pads. And he'll pick up a single in the process. Mid-wicket feeder coming around and cleaning things up for the Windward Islands, getting the return quickly back into the gloves of Dylan Douglas. Edwards. We're in at number 4. Comes in now to bowl to Podell, and Podell going square the wicket there. There's Captain Melius ever present in that point position. No run. This one position quickly off for a single. He's doing it in singles. Meanwhile, his captain, Padel, who's there on screen, really and truly looking to clear the boundaries often as possible or get close to the ropes. This delivery, he's back in the crease outside the off stump and looks at the umpire as if to say, well, that should have been a wide.
But has no interest in it.
Edwards, Rohit drives and picked up quickly there by Edwards, who rifled the return back to Douglas. No harm done in the end. That's the end.
It looks like Descartes is going to pick it up from the Paul Best center end.
Very well, because I was just about to say Jack, Meshach, and Abednego.
It seems to be very biblical. And having a good knowledge of the Bible.
Here comes Descartes. Passes umpire Bam. The ball to Jura. Jura pushes into the offside. He's off a quick single, and had he struck there, would have been run outs.
That would have been gone by the distance.
Yeah, but all he needed to do was to get it into the hands of Descartes. He was standing over the wicket there. He went for the stumps and missed it completely. And an opportunity going back in there for the Windward Islands.
So,
look at it.
Descartes
There's
was
no way that
really,
the player's in the frame.
yes,
And
that should have been
lively. Right arm medium pacer. Over the wicket now to bowl to Padel. And the delivery that has him pushing outside the off stump. He'll get one and one on alone. It will be. Goes back to his top of the mark and now turns around and races in now to bowl to Jura. Jura fans that one outside the off stump. And
about this.
really took the attack to the Nepalese bowlers. This delivery, Jura punches down to at mid-off. So Larry Edwards continuing from the southern end. And this one is going to go way over the bowler's head. As a matter of fact, I lost sight of it completely. That's gone miles.
Well, certainly.
Right close to the ground, and they're showing us a bottle of ginger wine, not ginger wine, but Gonzalez wine, a locally made wine. And this one is gonna, well, good work in the end by Asif Hooper. So 94 for the 90 mixture in the middle. Comes in now to bowl to Padel. And Padel was looking to work one right outside the leg stump. And Edwards again.
Beautifully played.
Down the leg side. Past his 206 target. It's a Jura. High score of the series thus far. And this one, final. This one, he punches it square of the wickets, and sweeper comes around in that 101 for
some pressure on the.
So quite naturally look to make amends. And this the 12th over. This time we'll be bowling to Jura, and a delivery that Jura forces into the offside. Fielder coming in there was Ned. The Padel, and well, good attempt there to his right by wicketkeeper Douglas, but couldn't keep it in. 3 in this the 12th over. Ned bowls to Padel, and the Padel finds feeling that as Ned comes in and bowls to Padel. Padel places down to long on. Fielder comes off the fence, and Descartes gets a good return back in there to Douglas. 5. Ned bowling a better second over to Jura. Jura was looking to heat this over the bowler's head, but
came to an end with that final delivery of Ned's over.
Yes. And now Gulshan is there. This one, batsmen are off for another run.
For the inroads into Nepal's batting.
As you would have loved to with the bat. I certainly like to do it to the ball. Comes in on bowls to Gulshan. Gulshan pulls this one. He's going to be out caught. Simple catch. Taken there on the long on fence. And he stands
like
in.
Ned.
It is Ned. So wicket number 5 going down.
Things have changed.
So
to
Irie.
he came back into the attack. Chopped that. That was almost went into his stumps. Past the keeper. They gone for 1. They will come back for 2. But he can count his lucky stars. That almost went into the off stump.
So, living a little dangerously there, Sampal. But the gods would have smiled with him. I'd say, you have another opportunity. Let's see what you can make of it. This delivery. Again, he's out caught this time. And Welton.
A little too close to him for that shot.
Yes. And
looks like Karan making his way out.
It is Karan. As we have a look at this replay. And Douglas, you have to certainly commend him for that catch. So what about, but it's been absolutely no impact on what's happening in the middle there. As there we see a replay once again of Sampal.
So we would note that a number of the Nepal's batters like running that ball down to third man.
Karan wrapped on the pad is a loud appeal, and umpire Butler not interested.
I think he's indicating height.
Yes. Now settles, and ball is pushed into the offside. There to Karan. Let's see if he did get a bit of a tickle onto it, and it would appear as such as it. Let's see. Yes. Off the inside edge of the bat.
Inside edge into the top of.
So Brown having his first game here today for the Volcanoes. So coming out to bowl to Jura. He's not out on 15. Jura poses wrong to short fine leg and finds Redhead in the way. Brown into Karan and pulls this one around. As a matter of fact, down. Yet again to Jura. Jura swings and misses outside the off stump. He's off a very short run. And this time it's worked into the offside, into the cover position.
Use wicket, they score Monks. Inside edge.
It's the visiting Nepal team preparing for T20 Cricket World Cup 2024. This one is hit into the air and one bounce into the boundary.
The boundary, and that cleared him.
This one is driven and an opportunity gone a begging.
Didn't hold on to it.
Jura skies this one,
It should be
and Kevin Hodges getting onto it and takes it. So that's the 7th wicket going down.
Al Airy comes out to do battle.
Yes.
He has 4 wickets. He was good with the ball. And he's beaten by that one outside the off stump fast.
Hodge to Irie. And Irie's up to the pad. There's a loud appeal. Traversing there might be very difficult as Brown comes in on bowls. This one is skied and Hodges coming around and couldn't keep it in.
Redhead couldn't keep it in. I think he was late in time.
Faces up once again to Brown. And this one, there's a stifled appeal there from Brown as Douglas doing the cleanup work. Brown. And the off stump there by Karan. 1, 2, 6 or 7 as Brown comes in now to Karan. And Karan, one bounce into the fence. And that's 4 runs. Seems to favor this era.
Well,
So Brown now is back at the top of his mark and was about to break into a strike run. And Karan skies this one. Let's see who's going to get under it. It falls into no man. And this one is hit high in the air, and I believe the catch taken there. Well judged. Well taken catch. That's wicket number 8.
Larry for shirt. He's driving to backward point. They want a single. Return comes in, misses the stump, and backed up by the man on the deep mid on boundary. But had that hit, he'd have been gone for all the worth. So it's now 132 for 8. And
Distance off. And certainly the pressure is mounting as this one dabbles it.
Someone is settling underneath this. Asif Hooper settles, takes the catch. And you can hear the jubilation in the crowd, Eddie.
It is a lot of jubilation here.
132 for 9. Still needing 74.
And there you see Karen looking, would really like to wrap it up here for the Windward Islands. And this one, in the end, it's going to be 4 runs. He just calmly played it over the... Brown, the Dakal drops it short in that short mid-wicket position, and Brown.
Well, so far.
And Karan hits this back over the bowler's head, coming in as Descartes and takes a
Brilliant catch.
lovely catch there by Descartes.